Mm. Mm. Okay. Hey ladies, so I went digging in the fridge for our next video and look what I found.
Hopefully not that tape I made on that yacht with that one rock star.
No, Beverly, it's definitely not a yacht video. But it is about fish.
Yay, fish videos are my favorite.
Yeah, well, this one is apparently about a fish and a cat, so it's kind of a mashup. Just like you, Mafenzi. But seriously, for a second, this is an old video from my last food channel where I try some tin fish with my cat, Casey. It's a little more low-key than what we usually do here. This was back before I was being haunted by these two. But yeah, I wanted to share it because sweet Casey recently had to take the big sleep. She was the sweetest cat that ever existed, and she loved cuddles, but she possibly loved Tuna even more than that. So please forgive the slower pacing on this, rough audio and editing. And if you're looking for something more cursed per our usual nonsense, feel free to check out one of the videos linked here, or they'll be linked in the description too. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy this because I do, and it's making me feel a little better to watch it. So
Casey is a true star. Hope you babies enjoy the vid.
This is little Momo Kitty Kitty. She is my very old rescue cat. We adopted her when she was 12 from the shelter. She's like, I don't know, 17 or 18 now. Kind of iffy when you're adopting older cats. You're not real sure what the age is. But she is a sweet old lady who is very, very spoiled. She has her own bed, which has a heating pad underneath it. She has her food station right next to her, which includes a special water cup. And then, of course, her dry food. She also gets a lot of treats from us because she's an old lady and she deserves all the treats in the world. Look at how sweet. So she is our pirate kitty. She had her eye removed last year because of cancer. And then she's got some other health issues. She's got hyperthyroidism and high blood pressure and possibly some nasal lymphoma stuff going on. So she's she's an old kitty who just, she's just living her best life until as long as she can. We'll say that she's living her best life as long as she can. So today we are getting ready to go out of town. Actually, we're going out of town. We're leaving tomorrow afternoon. She has an excellent pet sitter who takes care of her while we're out of town. And they drop by and make sure she gets her meds and gets fed and all that good jazz. But before I go out of town, I'd like to give her a little treat. When she was living in the shelter used to feed her like just a tiny bit of canned tuna every day. And she loves, like literally loves canned tuna. It's one of her most favorite treats in the whole wide world. She goes absolutely bananas for it. So before we go out of town, I'm going to give her a little canned tuna. But I'm also going to try some canned fish, not just tuna. We've got a couple tunas. We've got some other stuff too. So I'm going to give her a small sample of all of these canned fishes that we have and see which one she likes the best. If she's like a tuna only, or maybe she likes sardines or anchovies or salmon. I don't know. I got a little bit of several different things. So I'm going to try them, and I doubt I'm going to like them as much as she's going to like them. But then I'm going to give them to her to try. Before anybody gets upset and like, oh my gosh, don't give your cat that stuff. This is a very special treat for her just because we're going out of town and she's getting very small portions and everything's getting rinsed in case it had like any salt or anything on it or oil. So doing this, in the best way possible so that she's healthy, that it doesn't upset her stomach or anything like that. So hang out. We're going to try these canned fishes and let little Momo try some canned fishes too. What do you think, Momo? Yeah. Her name is Momo because normally she's very talkative, but I think she's a little camera shy. Momo, are you camera shy? You are? Okay. Let's go get some treats for you. And here are all of the tinned fishes that we're going to try today. So as you can see, there are 6 varieties. I tried to get different kinds of fish for each of these, but I kind of accidentally ended up getting 2 kinds of tuna. I meant to get like a tuna and like a mackerel, but I don't know why at the store I saw the word albacore and was like, yeah, that's totally mackerel. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so we have 2 kinds of tuna. They are different kinds of tuna. This is like the cheapest possible tuna. This is a little bit nicer, and it's a different kind of tuna. We've got salmon, we've got sardines, anchovies, and oysters. Like I said, Moo Moo, when she was in the shelter, would get a little treat of tuna every day, just like a tiny little amount. And that was just something nice that the shelter did for their cats. So I think she's had this one before. Maybe she's had both of them. I don't know what they fed in the shelter. But I don't think she's had salmon, sardines, anchovies, or oysters. I'm actually leaning towards not giving her the oysters because I couldn't find anything online that was like super definitive about whether or not that was okay for cats. It's also, these 3 are packed in oil. These 3 are packed in water. The oil is going to be fattier, and I don't want to, even though I'm rinsing these, I don't want to overdo it. So I'll probably skip giving her the oysters. That'll be a special treat just for me. But I'll give her the anchovies and the sardines just to cut down on oil consumption and all that jazz. So we're going to try each of these. We're going to try them by themselves, but also we're going to try them with a cracker because I think that's like normally how people eat tinned fish is with like on top of a cracker. I don't know. I personally have had, I've had like sardines before. I think I've had anchovies. So I've had some of these before, but not very often. It's not like it's not like I go out and buy myself. I don't go out and buy myself sardines just as like let me have sardines for lunch. It's not something I do. So this will be, a little new for me. But anyway, let's dig in. So we are going to start with this is the cheapest tuna that I could find at the grocery store. This is chunk light tuna in water. There's your nutrition facts if you want to read those. They say that canned fish is really, really good for you. So, I'm not going to read all this, but I'm assuming, there's some good stuff there. I will read the ingredients in every can because I think, it's important to know what kind of fish you're eating. So this is skipjack tuna, and it's packed in water, vegetable broth, and salt. So like I said, I'm going to rinse this off because I don't want little Moo Moo to have too much salt or vegetable broth or anything like that. But that's chunk light tuna. So let's crack her open. There's a lot of water, and I might have to go get a napkin because my goodness. If this is sold by weight, the majority of it is water. So there's a reason why this is the cheapest. And this smells like tuna. This smells fishy AF. So I'm not super looking forward to this. Let's take a bite of it. Ooh, okay. So it's there's a bunch of water on top, and then underneath is kind of a solid, thick bit of tuna. So there's a piece to take a look at kind of up close. It's very, very wet. So like I said, I'm going to try a bite by itself, and then I'm going to try a bite on a cracker. Okay. It tastes like cat food. If you've ever fed your cat wet cat food, this tastes like wet cat food smells. So, it's edible. It doesn't bother me. I like fish, so this really doesn't bother me that much. But I could see some people eating this and yakking or vomiting or something because it's not particularly pleasant. We're going to do just a little bit. I'm not trying to eat a ton of this stuff. You know what I mean? This is for kitty. This is for Moo Moo. This isn't for me, I feel like this would be a completely perfectly suitable thing to eat as a tuna salad. If you mix this like you do with tuna salad, mayonnaise, et cetera, this is probably good, but by itself, not so much. So here it goes on a cracker. So I will say the cracker kind of helps like reduce the fishy taste. Like it still tastes fishy, but the cracker sort of absorbs some of that and makes it more edible, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. So not bad, not great. This is, like I said, this is the cheapest can of tin fish I could find. I don't remember how much it was, like 99 cents or something like that. Maybe less than that. I don't know. So this is okay. Not good, not bad. I do want to try the albacore next because I want to do the tunas back to back. So this is chunk white albacore, also packed in water. There are your nutrition facts if you want to read those. And then your ingredients. So this one back here was skipjack tuna. This tuna says it's white tuna, also packed in like the exact same stuff: water, vegetable broth, and sea salt. So there's the can. So let's crack this open, and that way we can compare tuna to tuna what life's about. I have a feeling, all right, this one already has less water in it. The other one was like overflowing with water. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, there's like already a significant difference both in like the aroma I'm getting and how these are packed. So check this out. So your cheapest one, you can visibly tell that there's more water in this and less tuna. And the tuna looks different. Like this one's like a pinker tuna. This one's really, really pale. So this one has less water in it and it's a more pale fish. Let me smell closer real quick. So this still smells fishy, but it's less intensely fishy than the cheaper tuna was. Like it smells more like a piece of tuna you'd get at a restaurant and less like tuna you get in cat food. So let's take a bite of it by itself. There's a close-up piece of the chunk. This also tastes less fishy. It's still fishy, but like I said, the difference in the two is like restaurant quality versus like cat food quality is the best way I can think to describe this. And then let's do a little bite on a cracker. Honestly, Moo for sure smells this because she is meowing and coming this way. I don't know if you can hear that. Kitty. Really? No kidding. Now all the animals are getting involved. Moo, Kiki. Okay, now that the cat smells this, she's losing it. She loves tuna. She's looking all over for this. So, oh my goodness. We might have to, I was going to give her all 5 of these at the same time and let her pick. But she is so excited about this. I might have to go ahead and give her a little bit of these 2 tunas just to like placate her. Kitty. Really? No kidding. Hold on. Really? No kidding. Are you excited? You are. You want some tuna? You do? Okay, she's losing her mind. Let me give her a little bit of this and then we'll do it again once we try everything. So, yeah. I wasn't kidding when I said she loves that stuff. Really? I know. Okay, I'm going to get it for you. Calm down. So because Kitty was losing her mind, she's getting a little appetizer bowl of tuna. And I would say that, yes, she really likes the tuna. I'm really curious if she's going to like the sardine and anchovy and salmon. But this kitty loves tuna. So she can eat that. That's going to be her little snack. And we're going to try the rest and have her try all of them together here in a bit. Enjoy your appetizer, Momo. All right. While Momo is eating her appetizer, let's go ahead and try the rest of these real fast. So the next one is Alaskan pink salmon, also packed in water. Here are the nutrition facts. Like I said, I'm not going to read those. Underneath, though, is the ingredients. It is pink salmon, water, and salt. So Very simple. This one does not have vegetable broth. It's just salmon water broth. So let's go ahead and crack this one open and give it a try. I love salmon, like standard salmon fillets. I am a fan. So here's what we're looking like inside. So this looks very similar to the cheaper tuna in water, at least with the amount of water that's in there. Fish color, it's more pale like the albacore was. So there's fish color comparison. I'm surprised. I really thought salmon would be pinker than this, but that's okay. Kitty, are you done with your appetizer? You are? Really? She's really excited to try more of this. So I'm going to do some quick bites here. So salmon. Smelling it, it honestly doesn't smell any different from the tuna. This really does not taste any different. Well, so a little bit. Okay. So this tastes a lot like the albacore. However, it has like more of a fattiness to it. That's really the only difference. Like this was not packed in oil, but it still has like a fattiness to it. So let's put a bit on the cracker. Salmon on a cracker. The cracker takes away some of the fishiness of it. It's okay. You could use this. You could genuinely use this in place of like using tuna in like a tuna salad. And it would work just as well. It has like the same flavor, honestly. We're going to speed through these because Kitty wants some more. So the next one we're going to do is sardines. I actually, I really like sardines. I don't eat them very often. But I remember when I was a little kid, my dad would buy sardines and my mom thought it was disgusting. And I thought it was cool to eat the sardines with my dad. So here is the can close up. On the ingredients list, we've got sardines, which are Sparatus or Colpia. So there's two types of sardines in there. And they are packed in soybean oil, salt, and they have smoke flavor. So these are going to get a super good rinse before Kitty tries them. She is just waiting. She's like, okay, lady, hurry up and eat these so that I can try some of it because you're taking too long. There's nothing else on the can here. So let's go ahead and open this up. Here is what it looks like. So this is the first one we've opened where it actually looks like a fish instead of just like chunks of meat inside of the can. So that's exciting. I'm going to take a quick sniff. Sardines have such a distinct smell. I genuinely don't know how to describe it. It's fishy, but in a good way. Like personally, like I said, I love sardines. So it's a different kind of fishy smell than the tuna. I don't know how to describe it, but I love sardines. So let's take a bite. If you're unfamiliar with sardines, they come with everything in there. So there's the skin, there's bones in the middle of it. You can eat the bones. They're really soft. But yeah, so there's a fork full of it. Now let's take a quick bite. Yeah, I love sardines. Honestly, it's so fatty. It's so rich. I really like sardines. I am a fan. Personally, a fan. So let's do a bite on the cracker. This is the first one I've had where it's like I would eat this as like a snack or lunch. I wouldn't eat these by themselves as snacks or lunch. I would like make a tuna salad or something. But this one I would eat by itself. So on a cracker. So because I love sardines, honestly, the crackers are a disappointment because they take away the fishiness of it. And I like the fishiness of sardines. So for me, I would eat these honestly just straight out of the tin like this and be perfectly happy. They're very yum. All right, moving on because Kitty is getting impatient. We have flat anchovies in pure olive oil. So ingredients, anchovies, olive oil, salt. It contains fish, no kidding. A Oh, apparently there's a warning for reproductive harm. That's interesting. Here are your nutrition facts if you want to look at those. They are sustainably wild caught. That's pretty cool. Hand packed in olive oil. This is the Crown Prince brand. So anyway, you can tell it's fancy because it comes in a fancy box. So let's take it out of the box. Take a look. It's just a plain tin in the box that's got like oil on it. So let's open her up. No, there's a lot of oil on this one. Oh God, I just splashed it everywhere. Cool. So here's what it looks like with the can open. Again, this is like actual chunks of fish. So unlike the tuna and the salmon, it's full chunks of fish. This one also, you can tell, has like little bones. I'm assuming kind of like the sardines, that those are going to be soft and edible. So I'm just going to eat it all. These are like harder to break up. Like I just wanted to take a tiny piece, and that's apparently not going to happen. So there we go. Lots of bones. Hope those are okay to eat. Let me take a sniff real quick. This doesn't smell like anything weird. Oh my gosh. That is violently salty. Holy cow, that is violently salty. Like insanely salty. What is the sodium on this? A serving is 6 pieces, and that's 860 milligrams of sodium. There's over 1,700 milligrams of sodium in this can. This is violently salty. I don't know that I've ever just eaten anchovies plain before, but holy cow, that is so salty. So salty. My gosh. I don't know that I'm going to be able to give Mumu any of this. It's too salty, and I do not want to make her sick. So I'll probably skip giving her any of this one. I'm sorry, Mumu. You can't have any of this one. It's way too salty, and I don't want to make you sick. So we're going to try a little bit on a cracker. There we go. It's still super duper salty, but more edible. Better that way. Oh my God, it is so salty. Holy moly. Okay, I cannot give Kitty any of the anchovies. That's way too salty for Mumu. So Mumu's only going to get these 4 probably. Because like I said, the last one, I couldn't find any info on if this was okay to give or not. So the last one we're going to try is smoked oysters in corn oil. This, I think, was the most expensive one I bought. As you can tell, it's very fancy. It even says on the box, fancy, premium, and hand-picked. I wanted to stick to just fishes, but the grocery store I went to surprisingly didn't have a ton of options for just like tinned fish, but they had a lot of oysters, so I figured we'll try one. So there's your nutrition. Ingredients: smoked oysters, corn oil, and salt. So pretty straightforward. Let's look at the can. So this one's also just plain old can. So let's open it up. Here's what this looks like in the can. Yay. It looks, you know how like at Halloween parties, they'll like make stuff that looks like organs and brains. That's kind of what this looks like. It doesn't look very appetizing. Let's take a quick smell. It smells very, very smoky. And these are smoked oysters, so that's not super surprising. But that's basically all I can smell is the smoke. You don't really get like a fishiness or anything. I don't really want a huge one. Can we take a smaller one? There we go. Okay, here's a little bite on the fork. Let's give it a shot. For how smoky it smelled, it's kind of bland. Not like bad. Just ever so slightly bland. So let's try a little bit on a cracker. It's not bad. It doesn't taste like much, so it can't be bad, right? So there's a little bit on a cracker. And like with all the other ones, the cracker just sort of takes away the fishiness of everything. So when you put it on the cracker, it doesn't taste like anything anymore. My grandma makes oyster stuffing for Thanksgiving sometimes, which is really good. I love oyster stuffing. And I could see using this as an ingredient in something like that. But like eating this plain, there's just not a lot of flavor to it. I would eat it plain, but like maybe with a spread underneath, like a dill cream cheese spread underneath. Like it needs something else to kind of amplify the flavor. So anyway, that was all of the 10 fishes that I have. My personal favorite was the sardines. I just like sardines. I've always liked sardines. So that was my favorite. Kitty, Miss Moo, we're not going to give her the anchovies because they're too salty, and we're not going to give her the oysters because I couldn't find anything online that necessarily specifically said oysters were okay for cats to eat. We're going to give her, she's already had these two, and she loves tuna. I'm curious if she's going to love the salmon and the sardines as much or not. So I'm going to prep all this. We're going to give it to Kitty, give it to the little Moo, and see what she thinks. All right, everything has been thoroughly rinsed. We've portioned out just a tiny bit of each one. Like I said, I know she likes the albacore tuna and she likes the regular tuna. So I put those on like opposite sides of the plates. And I'm curious if she'll like the sardine or the salmon. So let's go give it to her. She is so excited. Are you so excited? You are? Okay, well, let's go get you a little treat. What's she going to go for first? Oh, salmon first. Oh, maybe not. No, she started salmon and then went over to tuna. So plain tuna. We knew she liked plain tuna. Oh, now she's going to try salmon. Now so salmon and tuna, 100%. She is happy with both of those. And a surprise to nobody, she loves the tuna. She also loves the salmon, which is not a surprise to me because the salmon honestly smelled and tasted so much like the tuna did. Kiki, did you know there's some over here too? I feel like, honestly, this could just be a path of least resistance type of ruling. She jumped up here. Tuna and salmon were closest, so that's what she went for first. I don't know if it's necessarily because she liked both of those better. I think it was just because those were the closest. That's my guess. You have more on this side of the plate. We got sardine and albacore, which is another tuna that I know you like. So at least one of those I know you're going to like. So she finished the tuna first. Big fan of the tuna. Going back to finish the salmon. All right, what's she going to think? Are you going to eat the sardine? No, we're going to finish the salmon first. She might be getting full, honestly. With this plus the appetizer, you've had a lot of fish. More than I really wanted to give you. Okay, now she skipped right over the sardine. She was like, no, fam, I'm not interested in that sardine crap. I want tuna. I'm glad she's eating, is this the healthiest thing in the world for her? No. Oh, dang. Okay, she started on the sardine and then was like, actually, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the albacore. She can't see very well. She only has the one eye, Oh, but she sniffed that and said, no, thank you. Like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. But, oh. No, she tried it and said no. Okay, loves the tuna. Salmon was good too. Not a fan of the sardine. Absolutely says, screw you, sardines. I don't want anything to do with you. I only like tuna. So, Moo Moo's ruling. Oh, she's going to go back and try it again. Okay, well, you know what? I thought she was going to be pickier than that. No. It's kind of a because it's there sort of thing, isn't it, Momo? She's eating it very slowly because I don't think she really likes it that much. But, it's there, so she's going to give it a shot. She's definitely a tuna girl. Tuna, salmon, and albacore, which is just another kind of tuna. She's a fan. Sardines, less of a fan. But she'll still eat it. Because, why not? So here's the final ruling from Kitty Kitty. The 2 tunas, albacore and cheap tuna, completely licked, totally clean. Salmon, mostly licked clean. She really liked the salmon, but liked the 2 tunas best. Sardines, did not like that. Not a fan. Ate a couple bites and then said, no, thank you. Not my favorite. So her and I basically had completely opposite rulings. I loved the sardines the most. She loved the cheap tuna the most. And that's your ruling. And now it's time for a needed nap after all of that sampling. So I hope you all enjoyed watching this. Thanks for hanging out and watching me and Moo Moo try some tinned fish. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hang out. I'm going to have a new video out every Thursday or Friday. So hang out. We're going to do some more weird food reviews, cooking challenges, that sort of thing. So that's a terrible outro. But you're cute. That's all that matters.